Heather Marulli, welcome.
Thank you.
How do we pretend like what just happened didn't happen now?
I have no idea.
So here's for context. We're in studio today, and right before us was a session, and someone came in here that Heather was surprised to see. Who was that?
It was one of the biggest movie stars in the world. Honestly, he has to be
for sure
top 10 movie stars working today, right?
I would say for sure.
Maybe top 5.
He's up there.
He's quite up there. Wait,
he's
are
been
we
up there.
Recording video too?
Well, I mean, I'm going to use just like the good parts for
for excerpts.
For excerpts, yeah. So
my God.
It was Joaquin Phoenix.
It was
in the flesh.
Phoenix. I can't believe it.
It was great. He was a nice guy.
He was really nice.
Look for the podcast he did with Launch Left. Check it out.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're here to talk about you though.
Me?
You, Heather Marulli.
Who am I?
Tell us what you. I know a few things about you. You grew up in Colorado.
Yeah, for the most part.
For the most part, your teenage years.
Sure.
Okay. What part again? Colorado Springs or Denver?
Colorado Springs.
Colorado Springs. Okay.
Yeah.
You are a writer. You're a stand-up comedian. And how long have you been in Los Angeles for? Too long?
It was 6 years on August 15th of this year.
Oh, wow. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Cool. So you were here in August 2013.
That's right.
Great. So I'd been doing stand-up 1 year before you here.
Oh, yeah?
So that's when I met you, right? I remember when you moved here.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. I think, well, at least when we met, we were seeing each other a lot at Echoes Under Sunset.
Oh, yeah. R.I.P.
R.I.P. I was actually there 2 nights ago.
You mean Echoes on Peak?
Oh, yeah. Separate incidents.
I don't go there.
Okay.
Cut this part out. No, I'm kidding.
No, I'm going to leave it in.
I
Christian,
don't go there.
She doesn't go there. So.
I mean, should I?
I don't know. I can't tell you what to do.
I'm successful.
You are successful.
That's why
you're a get.
Actually,
you're what they call in the industry a get for a podcast. I'm hoping for the Marulli.
Someone told me the other day, because sorry that I'm already am I allowed to say something? Give a little anecdote?
That's why I have you here. If you didn't give me anecdotes, I'd be
someone I went to high school with I don't want to say much about this, but he contacted me and was asking about open mics to go to, and I sent him to the Comedy Bureau.
ComedyBureau.com.
Yes, and which is the resource of open mics in Los Angeles, and then I don't know, maybe a couple weeks later, he hit me up and sent a message, and he goes, "Oh, I met this comic, I won't say their name, in a Lyft, and they said they knew you." And in my head, I was like, good. Yeah, I'm successful. Of course they know me or have heard my name, right? I feel like a lot of people know me.
Yeah, I think you're a personality.
Yeah, I'm not trying to brag, but
if you're gonna brag, look directly into that camera, please. That's the brag angle.
I've been recognized in public on several occasions.
What?
Yeah, I don't even know how it happens. I've been recognized in Trader Joe's. Right?
What if you just stopped it there?
I was in the chip aisle, and there were these 2 cute guys, and one of them was looking at me. I was like, oh, this guy definitely is going to ask me out. I thought he was gonna hit on me.
What did they know you from?
Well, he comes up to me and he goes, "Excuse me, you're really funny." And I was like, oh. I was disappointed.
Oh man.
I kind of needed to get fucked, but it wasn't gonna happen, I guess. So anyway, he recognized me from, I think, the West Side Comedy Theater. This was on the West Side.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then there was another time where I was at one of my favorite movie theaters. I'll say this directly into the camera. The Landmark on Pico Boulevard.
Oh, that's a good one.
One of my faves.
What's the elevator?
The elevator. I don't take
up?
the elevator.
It's a big.
There's so many. Right? There's a lot of old customers there, and you need to leave the elevator for them.
I also like that was my how to recognize it. That place is great. They have an elevator.
Oh yeah, no. The patrons are pretty
older.
Okay. Yeah, they're old.
Anyway, so you were at.
Yeah. So
I'm sorry. I'll shut
So
up.
I was in the snack area, where the concessions, and I'm like late for this I don't even know what I was seeing. I'm always late for a movie sometimes. And then I'm in there and this guy's like looking at me. Again, I thought he was checking me out. I really thought this guy, he was also good looking. And he goes, I know you. And I was like, I'm a comedian. And he was like, yeah, you are. I don't know where he knew me from.
Okay.
And then I've been recognized in bars. I've been recognized from roast battle. Just on the street, people have stopped me. I'm not famous at all, but people recognize me.
Well, what do you think?
And I have no money. I'm not rich.
You're paid in fame. Well,
Something.
so you do stand up.
Yeah.
You can see her on.
I have no real credits.
No?
I have no real credits. I have zero representation in the entertainment industry.
No one's even hip pocketing you.
No, I mean, I don't know what it is. I mean, I haven't been doing stand up that long, like 6 years. That's not
Sure.
that long. And also, like, I haven't sought out a rep. I just don't think that's necessary at this time. I've seen a lot of people who have reps, and it seems like things go badly after that. Like, I know a lot of comics like who wait as long as possible to get a rep or something. I feel like that works out better.
Do you have someone that's a little bit ahead of you that has talked to you about this kind of stuff, or like how do you piece that together?
Everybody's out to get me. Nobody supports me in this industry. No, I'm kidding. I'm so paranoid.
No mentors?
I have some mentors, but they're like famous.
Well, yeah. I mean, the people are ahead of you.
Yeah. Well, I'm having lunch with someone soon who I'm gonna. This is a big one, but I shouldn't even name drop him.
Oh.
No, maybe I should. He
I don't know.
retweets me all the time. Andy Kindler. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I don't know. We'll see what happens.
You're gonna get lunch.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I imagine is one of the ways to like move forward in a
It's
career
Hollywood, baby.
is to learn from people who have been there, and whether it's directly or indirectly, whether it's them physically being in front of you and saying this, or
Also, like, honestly, I would really have to like clean up my act to be on TV. I don't know. To be on like basic cable,
So you don't work clean. I've seen your stuff.
Well, no.
What? Because it's like about sex? I mean, I don't think you're not that graphic.
I'm not. No. Well, and I don't use curse words. Like,
right.
I never say like bad words. On
Maybe
stage.
it's just how you say it.
How I say it.
Yeah,
it's how I say it.
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't care. I feel like I'm a truth teller, and a lot of people can't handle that. I think a lot of people can't handle me.
When was the last time you didn't tell the truth?
On stage or like in life?
I'll leave that up to interpretation.
Oh my God. I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of, I feel like I'm an enigma and a lot of people don't understand me.
Okay.
That sounds so narcissistic, but I think it's true. I think barely anyone understands who I really am.
What do you think people see?
I think people just think I'm like annoying and loud and egotistical, and hopefully they think I'm rich. Because I dress well and have nice things. Except I drive a Honda. I just want to remind everyone that I am humble. I drive a Honda Civic Hybrid. The headlight's out right now, with the front left one.
Shit, we got to fix that.
I know. I contacted a
street.
comic is going to help me do it.
Is it Andy Kindler?
No, it's Jeff Carasalis. He's going to help me.
That's great.
So many name drops. Yeah, no, I think that people perceive me just as also kind of dumb too. I think people think I'm dumb. Maybe that's just in my head.
No, I think that's a great thing to know about as a stand-up. I mean, and how you go through this world is like, if you could control how people see you, I mean, that's what doing stand-up is you're kind of controlling what you're saying or what you're reacting to. But
that's true.
As long as you're like, I'm living a lie and that's not who I am. I mean, I'd like to think that I'm going on stage and I'm sort of trying to become one and the same a little bit.
Yeah, well, see, I feel like my goal in stand-up is to capture all of who I am on stage, and I feel like I'm kind of getting there. I feel like the last year or so that my comedic voice has just like really transformed a lot and become like so much more honest.
Is that from any sort of like internal or like conscious efforts, or did you think just time and the reps?
Just, well, time and reps plus depression, plus repetitive bouts of depression. Serious depression.
Well, what is that? What does your depression look like?
Well, it's cyclical, I guess, but
when you're tweeting a lot.
I haven't had a Twitter rampage in quite some time.
Oh, I was just curious. It's not like I'm calling out any specific.
Oh, wait, but I
did
used to have like some Twitter meltdowns.
Oh, really?
And people would be like, "Are you okay?" But I haven't had one of those in a long time.
But that's a thing that we all sort of struggle. I mean, just people in general, like their moods, whether it's anxiety or depression, and
right.
a lot of that can hinder it. And I always, what is it like? I feel like whenever you struggle with stuff and you go through the other side of it, you're changed and you've learned something from it. So maybe that can be attributed to the
I don't know. Like I feel like the last couple of years I've been like, because I've been going through a breakup for like 3 years, and that sounds so insane. 2 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, they say it's like
I'm over the guy.
Well, what's
like
who broke up with who?
He broke up with me.
Okay.
I have a whole chunk in my act about how the breakup has been hard because, it was like I felt like I was getting dumped by a loser, and he like didn't have a car. He would like put his bike in the backseat of my Honda. Jeez. I sound so mean, but it's true. It was really painful. Well, he said some really mean things to me that were really painful. So
Jesus.
That I still think about. If somebody says something,
how does it come up?
To me,
is it just like you're like reaching for something? And
no, just in my head, I like, I just have thoughts. I just think of mean things people have said to me. Mm-hmm. I'll sometimes think of mean things people have said to me, like in the 90s.
Yeah, I do that too. You gotta let it go.
Well, everyone does that. Like, I think they call it in psychology, they call it a kick or something when you kind of like think back to like a specific moment or somebody like saying something to you specific. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'd have to say the meanest thing that he said after we broke up. He said this in an email to me. He said, I'm not attracted to you, especially now more than ever. And I was like, what? Like he was saying that I was unattractive.
Yeah.
And I was just like, that's so mean. Like that is so mean.
Yeah, that's even if it was like,
it's not even
who
true.
knows what it's true.
Like I mean, he's just saying that to hurt me,
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was fun.
So you use that to write better jokes.
Everything that oh my God, my work, not just stand up, but everything I do creatively and the work I do professionally, it's driven by some type of pain. I'm a serious workaholic.
Sure, I like that.
Some people may not
that about
think
you.
That though.
It's like you saying that, but I can
I don't
feel
know.
like
I'm
you
just like
have
thinking
specific
about like
people.
no, I don't really have a lot of like enemies in the comedy scene, but there's like, I know there's people who definitely don't like me.
Yeah.
And I just don't care because they're losers. Like it doesn't matter, like what am I going to do about it?
Yeah, I don't know. I can't.
I really feel, because do you ever like, I think about this a lot. Lately I've been thinking about this a lot. You ever go on like Instagram or Twitter, especially Instagram, I'd say more
all the time.
And like, if you see like a famous person's post, if you look at the comments, there can be like so many fucking like rude, hateful comments.
Oh yeah.
Like I saw this recently on Nikki Glazer, on a post that Nikki Glazer had about her special that came out, which was so funny. And she's one of my favorite comics. And
you listen to her show, her radio show?
Sometimes, yeah. But in the comments, this one guy was like, and like, who knows who the fuck this guy, you know, he's like Tom from like Indiana or some shit. And he goes, I wish Nikki wouldn't talk about sex stuff so much, you know, pretty low hanging fruit, if you ask me. Didn't like the special. And then like she made a comment. She replied back to him and she goes, my pussy is low hanging fruit. You know. But like, there's just like thousands, there's probably millions of people who do that. Like, can you imagine being one of those people who goes on Instagram to say mean things about people in comments?
You're talking about trolls.
It sounds insane.
I mean, some people...
Is that how people get attention? Or I don't know.
I mean, that's what kind of turned me off with Facebook.
Like, you have to be... Too. Oh, yeah? What happened on Facebook?
Just reading people's comments and statuses back.
Awful.
It just doesn't seem productive. I don't know what the end result is here. It's like, this is all fake shit. This is all just photos and we're sharing stuff. There's no... I mean, maybe there is a connectiveness and like in using it as a group or to share like stuff. But for the most part, it's just bullshit that people like...
Yeah. No, I've really pulled back from Facebook. I think Facebook is so unhealthy. I think social media in general is bad for mental health.
I agree. I get excited thinking about, oh man, it's been like 2 weeks since I posted anything. Oh, it's so good.
Oh, I barely post on Facebook anymore. I used to post jokes a lot on there, but you know,
it's kind of
one of the reasons I kind of stopped posting jokes so often is because I would get like so many like dumb comments especially from no offense, from men.
What did men ever do to you?
Well, no, I mean, they like to tag jokes. They like to go in there and like try to like tag a joke or like
that I know,
or try to be funnier than me. And I just want to be like, no, like this is what I wrote. And this is the joke because it's funnier than what you said. It's exhausting, honestly. I have a lot of reply guys on Twitter.
What does that mean?
Reply guys who just, you know, they reply to tweets and, you know, they either have no picture on their profile or just like an avatar of like God knows what. They don't have their real face show, you know?
Oh, I see.
They're just like random guys and they're always like, some of them are like trying to make like sexual comments. Some are trying to like be flirtatious. Other guys are trying to like mansplain. There's also like people trying to like punch up or tag jokes.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's too much.
I can.
Yeah. I don't think male comics get that as much.
No. Yeah. Not at all.
Yeah. Sorry.
Sounds pretty awesome. When was the first time you did stand up?
Oh my God. Like formally?
Yeah, formally. I don't know, like not formally.
Can I admit that I took a stand up class?
No, I like that. So you took a stand up class and what was it like? What was the
well, there was one guy in the class who was an absolute lunatic and he probably should have like
done improv.
No, I was going to say gotten a mental health evaluation. But yeah, sure, improv. No, he was a lunatic. Like I remember he was like a sober bartender. I can't believe I remember this guy. I don't remember his name. It might have been like Eric or something.
Definitely Eric.
But you know how you just remember like crazy fucking people from years ago?
What was his act like, or what was he trying to do?
Oh my God. Well, every time he went up to the mic stand and took the mic out of the stand, well, before he took the mic out of the stand, he would like take it and like, you know how Steven Tyler like screams into the mic? And he's like, yeah! Yeah, and then he like would take the mic out of the stand,
and then he goes, "So insane. Airplane food, anyways." He just wouldn't acknowledge it at all.
Well, and here's another thing I remember about him, and this is how you know someone's fucked up. Okay, if someone says they're a life coach, okay, if someone says I'm a life coach, fucking turn around and run. Like that person is sick.
These are rules to live by. Thank you for.
No, he kept saying like, I'm a life coach. I'm passionate about life coaching. What does that mean? Like a verb?
He just coaches people how to ruin their life.
Well, yeah, but he was like a crazy. Well, I don't know. Like he was, yeah. So he was like a sober bartender, or he might have like had a relapse during the class. Not in class, but I think he came into class.
Guys, it was hard.
And said he like
someone.
had some type of relapse because of the stress of the class.
Oh, wow.
And I was just like, what? Like, so obviously his sobriety was very
wavering.
Tenuous.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. But man, that guy was so fucking crazy. But I met one of my best friends in that class, and we're still like really good friends. We talk every day.
Ooh.
Her name's Angie.
Is she still doing stand-up?
She does it sometimes. She does a lot of other things. She's a visual artist.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Great. So you got a friend out of it.
Yeah. Angie TNG, if you want to look her up on Instagram.
Well, what was something that you learned when you transitioned from taking that class, going into actually doing open mics, as far as like preparation or scene?
Yeah, I feel like what it helped me with was preparation.
Okay.
So, because I kind of knew I wanted to do stand up years and years before that.
How did you know? Or what inspired you?
Well, see, that's the thing. So I went to NYU for college. And when I was in college, I remember thinking like, I kind of want to do stand up, but I had no idea where to start. This was like probably like 2007, 2008.
Probably in one of the best places for stand up.
I know. I was.
If only there was a street that had comedy clubs on it.
I fucked up because that was probably around the time where like Amy Schumer and people who came up around that class were like miking.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting?
Cool.
Yeah. Because I remember, because I used to go to the Comedy Cellar.
Oh, really?
Like I've always loved stand up. I've always really liked stand up because, my dad was really into comedy.
So what would he play? Any specific comedian? Or comedy movies?
Comedy movies were huge for him. So like he showed me like, all of the old like Richard Pryor, Gene Wilder movies, like Stir Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, anything with like Dan Aykroyd or Bill Murray. Young Frankenstein was a huge one for me. Yeah, he showed me like so much comedy. Mr. Bean.
Oh, yeah, shout out.
British comedy. We watched Ab Fab.
I don't even know what that is.
Absolutely Fabulous. BBC comedy. Oh my God. Like, yeah, my dad was just really into comedy, which is kind of crazy because he was like
not funny.
No, he was funny. I'd say no, he was like kind of mean. It's a little mean.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't hate him or anything, but I feel like that definitely shaped a lot of. I mean, that's kind of probably why I do this. Is having crazy parents. They're both crazy.
Yeah.
Don't listen to this, Mom. Yeah. No, I feel like everyone in my family was funny and also like just really enjoyed laughing. And yeah, so I was always drawn to comedy. And my sister and I we used to watch stand up on Comedy Central when it was like just all stand up.
Oh, cool.
And I remember seeing, like Maria Bamford on Comedy Central when I was like 11 or 12. And I just did a festival that she headlined last month.
Wow.
That's like crazy to be awesome. Like a contemporary of someone like that. And who else did I used to watch? Like Greg Fitzsimmons, who I love. He's kind of like a mentor. Greg Giraldo was huge for me.
Yeah, same here.
Because I love I roast, and he was just like a major influence on me for that.
Yeah. How did you get involved with the roast battle? How did that come about?
Well, folks,
tell people what it is, because I don't think I've had anyone on here that's.
Oh, really? I mean, it's a pretty established show. It's every Tuesday night at 11 at the Comedy Store, and it's a joke battle show. So it's two comics, going back and forth with jokes. And Jeff Ross is, has a hand in it. He's like a mentor to a lot of the comics who do it. And it's been on Comedy Central. The only reason I did it the first time was because, do you remember? I don't even want to say his name. Should we cut this out?
If you want to.
Okay, let me just describe him without saying his name. Okay. So it was this kind of like crazy guy. That sounds bad. He was mentally unwell. And
it's a lot of people still.
Yeah. So long story short,
Did you battle this person?
I hooked up with him. And then he asked me to battle, and then we hooked up after that. And then at the battle, I basically like called him out for calling me ugly because we had hooked up.
Oh, nice.
It's pretty famous, actually.
Wow.
And I really thought it was going to ruin my career that if people found out that I had hooked up with this guy.
Yeah.
And I was so scared.
I know. I don't know, though.
I'll tell you later. But I was so scared to do those jokes, to actually say like,
because that wasn't what you had prepared.
We had sex.
That wasn't what you prepared.
No, it is what I prepared.
Oh, you prepared to say those jokes.
Well, I prepared two different sets of jokes.
Okay.
Because
one if it was above the belt, and the other one if it wasn't, right?
Pretty much, like, because I'm an efficient woman, so I prepared two sets of jokes. And I said, okay, well, if he goes here, I'm going to have to do this.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. And he did. He immediately tried to go for my looks. And I immediately was like, I don't remember what the first joke was I did. But I remember one of them was like, you keep calling me ugly, but you weren't saying that when your face was buried in my pussy. Which is true. Oh, boy. We do crazy things in our youth,
For sure. But that was it. And then I'm imagining you won that.
I won.
You won that, and then you continue to be a part of the show.
Yeah. Well, Jeff Ross was there, and he saw that, and he was like, you're going to be a huge star. And like, honestly,
he wasn't right. I mean, he wasn't wrong.
Shit, I have a long ways to go, but
yeah.
But that meant so much to me.
Yeah.
And it kind of like helped me.
I mean, we need
going.
That sort of little validation in this lonely
important. Yeah, I
LA.
think oh my God. LA is so lonely and horrifying. Yeah, you kind of need to tell yourself like, I'm talented, I'm funny, I'm smart, I'm beautiful. Otherwise, like, who's gonna tell you that? Like, you have to believe in yourself. At the end of the day,
the no reply guys. Our reply guys.
The reply guys.
That's what they're doing.
Yeah, they're my fans.
They're like, we know that you need this, Heather.
Oh my God.
This is for you.
I don't know. I don't know. I feel like confidence is such a huge part of being a performer. In any.
Yeah, I mean, I'm constantly having to not fake that confidence, but like push myself up, especially like going to mics and being in somewhere and you're like, why the fuck am I here? I should have walked out an hour ago. And you're just like, no, you're like, oftentimes the thought is like, man, I shouldn't be here.
That's why I stopped going to open mics. I'm like, oh,
like, this is awful, and then you're like,
it is awful.
I don't even, what do I even say to these people when I get up there? And often, and I just have to like lie to myself, and then I get up there and I work on my stuff and I leave. But
well, you do have to be like a special kind of crazy to do stand-up comedy.
Mm-hmm.
Something's not right in your head if you're doing stand-up comedy.
Well, I mean, there's a subject matter that I was thinking about today was your comfort zone, and eventually, you're in this class and then you start doing stand-up and you're nervous, but you prepare and then you somewhat get comfortable at it, and then you have to keep getting outside of your comfort zone. So like for trying new jokes, okay, that's kind of scary.
Right.
But what are ways that maybe you've kind of stepped outside of your comfort zone because you're not going to get better then. If you just stay the same and comfortable.
Well, I mean, honestly, one of the things that I think has helped me a lot and become a better comic is to go up in like the shittiest, toughest rooms over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like the Lexington, like that was that was, you know, a tough room.
Yeah.
Like any like open mic in a bar where in the valley where people aren't listening, they don't give a fuck. I love that shit.
You just kind of retrained your brain to be like, oh fuck yeah, this is time to prove myself. Or,
yeah,
you know,
exactly.
Make this
Like
a challenge.
if you can get people to pay attention to you in a dive bar in the valley, or you'll be fine. Because basically, because I think a lot of people in LA who are doing stand up, they make the mistake of, you know, just going up at like actual comedy venues or like niche rooms. And when you're actually doing stand up, you're not going to be performing in LA if you're successful. You're going to be performing
You're gonna be on the road
around the country, you know, internationally maybe. And you have to know how to talk to different types of people.
Yeah, that's the problem that I see with like going to the same type of mics, especially like these slotted pay mics.
Awful. I did one last night. It was awful. No, I'm kidding.
Well, you know, it has its place, but it's
I
like,
mean, if I need to get in reps, I'll do a slotted mic. But I think that's like a totally different subject about how bad slotted mics are.
that's a whole nother podcast.
How rude they are, you know, for like, you know, charging people $5 or for 5 minutes and you don't even get a drink.
I never thought about that part of it.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you know, like at Echoes, like you pay what, $5, but
Get a beer and a shot or something.
you can get a beer and a shot.
Yeah.
I never did that. See, I never drank before going on stage when I was starting.
Me neither. I still don't.
Well, I don't. Well, see, if the show is like shitty,
You'll do it?
I'll drink before going on stage. That sounds so bad.
I can't even do that. Yeah.
If it's low stakes, I will have a drink before the show.
Do you smoke?
Smoke what?
Smoke weed?
Not really.
No.
If it's offered to me, I will.
Heroin. Cigarettes. No, I got high on Monday and I went to the comedy store. I went to
weed.
and I was like, oh fuck, why did I do this? I don't even want to be here. I'm tripping out, like, oh shit, I don't even know what I'd say. And then I'm standing on the patio and then the comics are just like, I would say ferociously getting high like outside the store. I'm like, how are you guys doing this right now? You're just gonna get more high and go in there? Like, holy crap, guys. Like, kudos to you for being able to sustain that much inebriation and then doing stand-up. Like, I need to be like present in the moment.
Well, I mean, if you want to get good, you should not be drinking or getting high before going on stage. I think some of the biggest losers in comedy do that. No offense. I'm not talking about you.
No, I didn't want to do it. I never do it. I just was like spur of the moment.
Whenever I think about like comics who just like drink at like comedy clubs and shit, I'm like, what a fucking loser. You know, I drink at the comedy
a lot of people.
No, but I'm not like drinking before a set.
Oh yeah, no.
I would never drink before doing a roast battle or anything.
People are there to hang out. Basically, they're not performing; they're just hanging out, getting.
Yeah, but if you're just hanging out, it looks bad.
Yeah,
it looks so bad.
To be drinking too, you're saying?
No, like if you're a comic, you shouldn't just be hanging out at a place and not doing comedy.
You're watching people? I don't know.
At the comedy store? I don't know. Well, I mean, it depends. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? Like people who are just on the patio.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
No.
Don't be on the patio all the time.
I go there because I like to watch, you know, I'll check their Instagram to see who's going up at what time. And like the other day I tried to get to see Joey Diaz, but the room was packed. And I was like, fuck. I couldn't see him.
Joey Diaz. I love him. Oh my God. I've never met him, but I want to. I want to. Yeah. Anyway.
Okay. Okay. So
stand-up comedy.
So let's talk about stand-up and maybe some of your writing inspiration, or what you like to write about. I mean, it's anecdotal. It's about your life.
Yeah, it is. I think I write about every like horrible thing that happens to me. I mean, I exaggerate. They're not all horrible things.
Sure.
But I mean, my biggest subjects are probably relationships, sex, family, just general insanity, mental illness.
Yeah.
Pop cultural type stuff. Yeah.
What?
Death.
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 Yeah, I mean, but how do you actually do the writing? I mean, is it just like?
Do I write? I don't really write.
I mean. Well, how do you write down all the bad stuff that's happened?
When I get an idea, listen, I'm not the type of I don't understand people who just like sit down and write stand-up comedy. I think that's insane. Like you just sit down and you're like, okay, I'm going to write stand-up comedy now. See, that's not how it works for me because I experiences inspire me.
Okay.
And if something inspires me, I'll write it down right then.
In your notes or something?
In a notebook.
Oh, okay.
I have a notebook. Classic comic notebook. And so that's the kind of writing I do. Plus I write on stage a lot.
Okay. So you'll just go up with a premise.
Yeah, I'll go up with a premise or some ideas or a couple words and start on that.
What is there a new premise that you're working on this week or?
Oh yeah, I'm working on a set about Ronan Farrow.
Okay.
Do you know him, the journalist? Because he has a new book that's out. He's the guy who basically exposed Harvey Weinstein in those New Yorker stories. Remember a couple years ago?
Yeah.
And he has a new book out. So I've been doing a set about how coastal elitism. Because how like the middle of the country thinks that everyone who lives in like LA and New York is like a fucking like stuck up intellectual snob, and I'm here to say that's true. So that's what my set's about. And I've gone on stage with the book, and I'm like, if you didn't pick up this book at an Amazon locker on Sunset Boulevard today, you're not a true coastal elite. Okay. It's funny.
You have like your bits like you might be a coastal elite.
Yeah, I know. I don't know where it's gonna go, but I like where it's going so far.
I love it.
Yeah. I don't know. Stuff like that is just funny to me. And I also lately have just been like, working on like crowd work stuff. And I don't know. I like writing on stage at mics,
That's fun.
Not like at a real show. Like at a real show, I'm gonna go up there with the
with
real
your
shit,
written stuff.
Yeah. But that's why I like doing the like any improvised open mic, like set list. That one's really helpful.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I
agree.
Because one of the things I like to do, honestly, at a mic is I'll just like start talking about. I'll go off of whatever the last comics was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Like the other night, I did a set where the last comic had been talking about premonitions, and I worked that into my set.
Okay. Cool.
So,
yeah,
that was fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Is there something that you do, like just as a habit, as far as like, excuse me, is there something that you do to like reset yourself? Because if you're constantly out and about, you're working full time.
Get fucking wasted. I don't know. I feel like I'm drunk all the time on the weekend. Lately, I've been like really ramping up the drinking. I just want to let everyone know I'm fine.
But as long as it's not at a patio, it's fine.
Yeah, like you can I get drunk in movie theaters.
I fall asleep. I'd be afraid of falling asleep.
Well, see, I used to be really against drinking in movie theaters until my life got unbearable. Okay. And then I decided, fuck it, I'm getting drunk in the movie
I need to escape even more into this narrative.
Yeah, exactly. I got wasted. I saw. How many times did you see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood? Did you see it more than once? No, I saw it 3 times.
I loved it. The first time I was like, I don't know. But the second time I was like, Yes.
Yeah. Well,
Fan.
I think it was the second time I saw it in the theater. I got like fucking trashed.
I was
Like
stoned.
I like brought like I snuck canned wine in my purse into the theater. Whatever. I still bought other wine.
So-
Once I ran out of the canned wine.
Let me just kind of rephrase this.
I felt like an alcoholic.
You like to go to the movies to relax.
Well, I mean, I like a lot of alone time. And,
Okay,
like,
okay.
Honestly, I'm
you-
not like drunk all the time. You know what I mean? I have a social life.
Are you an introvert?
Oh, yes. People would not think that. But, well, maybe, can you be both? You can be like an ambivert.
You can be an
Is that
ambivert.
what they call it?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I guess I can be outgoing, but I prefer not to be. I think people think I'm a bitch because I'm not like super outwardly,
okay.
hi, I'm here. I
Hi,
I don't know. I feel pretty shy a lot of the time.
Yeah.
That sounds insane. But on stage, the stage is where I'm not shy,
That's great. Of course. Yeah.
So
You're like, hi,
but,
guys. Hello.
but like
Hi,
yeah, when
Heather.
I'm off stage, like I really don't want to talk to anyone. Like honestly.
So what is I mean, we briefly talked about like management and whatnot and sort of
I have none.
getting recognized,
Yeah.
next to Trader Joe's and
Right.
the movies.
Yeah.
Is there a goal that you are sort of
Yeah.
envisioning that you're working towards?
Honestly, yeah, my goal is to marry rich and quit stand up.
Okay.
That sounds so crazy. I mean, I'm not even I'm half kidding.
Is that your 5-year plan?
I don't know. Well, okay, so like either way, look. Is this gonna sound wild? I kind of care about
You know what you're gonna say. I don't.
I think I care more about having a serious relationship than having a career.
Okay.
Does that sound stupid?
No, not at all. That sounds perfectly reasonable.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I should quit comedy because I am pretty good at it. And like honestly, I feel like this is gonna sound so egotistical, but like I feel like the world would be deprived if I was not on stage.
I agree.
I feel like I have things to say and
I agree.
people want to see me on stage.
Yeah, exactly. You
But
can't quit us.
Also, this is hard.
Yeah,
Stand up is hard.
it's very hard.
This whole life is hard.
Life can be hard, but stand up is definitely hard.
Yeah, it's such a difficult choice.
What would you tell people who are trying to decide about doing stand up or not? Like, don't do it, essentially.
listen.
Look to the camera too. That way.
Find someone who loves you. Buy a house. Get a good job. Get married. Have some kids. Live happily. Okay? That's my advice.
To not do this.
That's my... Don't do it. Don't do it. Unless
should-
you're a very sick person, don't do this.
Yeah, I should probably take your advice.
I know that sounds so... People are going to be like, what does she fucking know? Guess what? I know because I'm in this shit. There's literally no turning back.
At this point.
Yeah. How can I turn back after 6 years? In stand-up.
In stand up. I mean, yeah, I guess that was a phase of my life.
No, I'm like in it for life. I think once you're past year 5, it's like, I don't know, but a lot of people say that people quit around like 5 years and then
8.
8?
I don't know.
I heard 7
Okay.
and then like 10. People quit. A lot of people quit at 10.
Okay. So what would you be doing if you weren't doing stand up? What you suggested?
What would I be doing?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I might have gone to law school.
Okay.
Yeah. I honestly feel that I'm just like such a sick person that I need attention. And that's why I do this. So I think if you're like a sick person who needs attention, yeah, by all means do this. But the truth is like so many people don't need to do it. Like I feel like I see so many people who just like you don't like it's okay if you're not funny. You know what I mean? Like not everyone has to be funny. I think everybody wants to be funny. I think funny is like a really desired trait culturally here.
Yeah.
But also, like, there's a real, I mean, being funny is usually like a coping mechanism for some real dark shit.
Oh yeah, I had to realize that what I was doing when you're just deflecting disappointment, you're deflecting embarrassment.
Yeah.
And it's also when you're funny and you make a joke, it goes back to control. You're controlling where the attention or the details are going about your life, or a scenario, whether it's a breakup or at work, or that's why there's that like tension. Comedy like builds that tension, and then you say something that can really release it, and it's also it's an inappropriate stuff you shouldn't be saying too is the funniest, whether it's like in your day-to-day.
Yeah. I don't know. I honestly I get so worried because in LA, like, people get married like pretty late here. Like late 30s, early 40s, people get married here. And I'm 32 and I'm kind of like freaking out about that because I've thought about just like leaving LA to find a relationship. Is that insane?
Plenty of people leave LA to find, more wholesome activities.
It's hard to live here. I mean, you're really, when you think about it, like, we're surrounded by so many like narcissistic sociopaths in this city.
Yeah.
That I don't know. I don't know. I feel like LA can just be like really unhealthy.
It can be. It can be if you're not around the right people.
Yeah. So it's hard, and it's like you said before, it can be like super lonely. And I think, just being in entertainment and like being rejected all the time, like, just exacerbates that, So that's why people kind of go a little off the rails here.
Yeah. I said a joke at a mic. I was like, it's ridiculous. This is the only profession where, you have to like go through these open mics and rigmarole. Like, if I was a plumber and I wanted to do become a professional plumber, I wouldn't have to go to like open plums to, like, and pay for 3 minutes.
Certificates.
Yeah. Like, oh yeah, I got to practice plumbing for it. And then I do it once a day for 3 minutes. And
no, I know.
So it's definitely crazy. And it takes a certain person to want to do it. And
there's so many people doing it. But also, Jessica Amal, who was on the last podcast, brought up that you have to know to celebrate something positive in your life. It can't just be driven on when you get here, I'll celebrate. I definitely like, I try to like make lists of like accomplishments.
Okay.
Like one thing I still get excited about, like, the tiniest things, I think. Like, I'm doing a show on Monday that I've wanted to do for years.
Which one?
The Business.
Oh, cool.
And I was just like, oh, I'm on this show. Like,
nice.
So that's, like, exciting.
Great.
I still get excited about, like, little things like that. And I think that's important, Yeah. But I'm kind of, like, on the inside, I feel like I'm pretty, like, childlike and, like, filled with, like, wonder about stuff. Like, I just love the world sometimes, and I love art, and I love being in LA and like, being able to go to like all kinds of events and meet all kinds of different people. And there's something like really magical about being here. And I think it has worked out for me so far, but I need money. No, the money would be nice or something, know? I mean, I do fine in like my job, but I want to make a living, somehow creatively, like through writing or performing. I prefer performing. I feel like a lot of comics also, and I don't think I could do this. A lot of comics, they get writing jobs and they're like, oh, this is it. This is what I want to do. And then they basically just like don't do stand-up anymore. But I feel like I could never do that. I feel like I am supposed to be on stage.
Yeah, I get that.
I forget what someone said. Oh my God, someone said something recently that I was kind of offended by.
About you?
They were saying, I forget what it was, but they basically what they had said to me, they were kind of implying, oh yeah, no, I know what it was. Someone like sent me a job post it was a job in entertainment, but like, like an office job in entertainment.
Yeah.
And I was just like, no. Like, I wanted to write back and be like, I'm the talent. Like, I'm the talent. I'm not going to be working behind the scenes.
I get
on
that.
A show. Does that sound insane?
No, I understand. But yeah, I mean, it's meeting more people or whatnot.
Yeah.
Just a different experience.
Listen.
I'm listening.
I don't need it. I think it would just make me more miserable.
All right. I have last couple of questions for you, Heather. I like to do this thing. It's called the Life Billboard.
Okay.
And if you had a billboard on Sunset in La Cienega over by the Comedy Store above Pink Dot,
yeah,
and it could have anything on there. It could have a picture, a quote, or whatnot. What would your billboard be?
It would obviously be for my debut comedy album / special that I've already pre-named.
What is it?
Should I say the title?
I'd love you.
Someone's going to steal it.
Yeah, but it's...
but it's on record if I say it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe can you beep it though?
If you want me to.
I really don't like people stealing my intellectual property. I'm going to tell you it. Okay. Clapter for...
Okay. That's great.
What do you think of that?
I like it.
We beeped it out so nobody can hear it. But
I loved it. Okay,
I'm gonna have a mic in my head.
So it's an advertisement. Your billboard is an advertisement.
I want, like, you know how when some comics get specials, they have the fucking billboard.
Oh yeah.
On Sunset.
Yeah, that's the billboard. That's
the dream.
That's why I bring it up when I ask you.
Yeah.
That's my favorite thing to do.
Preferably HBO, but whatever.
Okay. It's usually a Comedy Central show on that billboard. I don't know if they bought that one.
Okay, then whatever.
Doesn't matter.
Whoever will have me.
I guess let's see. My last question is usually that one, but is there anything that you'd like to talk about now that the floor is yours?
Anything I'd like to talk about? I don't know. How have you been doing?
My neck hurts today.
Were you in an accident?
No, I just slept weird. I'm like, it's one of those things.
You don't have a pre-existing.
No, I just sleep wrong, and I'm like, how the fuck old am I?
Oh, I've done that before.
Like, it's so sore. If someone needs me, I gotta be like, hey, hold on, what do you want? Like,
I've had to do that before too, for
like,
sure.
It sucks changing lanes.
I think the biggest mistake you can make though, if you have like neck pain or back pain, is get a massage.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I need a massage.
No. Don't do it.
Don't
Don't let anyone touch your neck.
Okay.
I swear.
When it's hurt, you're saying.
Yeah, that's the worst thing you could do.
Okay.
I really think that, like, have you ever seen a chiropractor?
No.
Good. Do not see a chiropractor. I mean, think about what they do. First of all, they're not medical doctors. Okay. And then they put you on this table, face down, there's a little hole for your face.
Yeah.
They're gonna fucking, for like $50, they're gonna fucking crack your back. Can you believe that? That sounds so ridiculous, doesn't it?
It does. It definitely
And think about how dangerous that can be.
Yeah.
One time a chiro cracked my back and I couldn't walk for 3 days.
Oh, Jesus. What happened?
He did it wrong. He wasn't a doctor.
Is this a bit you have a chiro?
Should I talk about that?
I think it's funny.
Oh my God. There is one chiropractor in LA who I have
had a good experience.
Touch me, but adjust me is what they call it. Get an adjustment. Yeah.
Yeah.
But other than that, no. I won't do it.
I like that. Well, I like that we ended with a PSA about chiropractors.
Don't do it.
I
tell people this all the time. I was like, think about what they're doing. Like, that sounds wild.
Heather, you've answered all of my questions.
Oh, wow.
Thank you so much. We kind of talked about them throughout the whole thing.
Oh, we did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I knew I could just kind of go off the top of my head. And
oh, yeah?
I think you're my 17th or 18th person. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this is fun. I like doing this.
You.
Thanks for coming all the way here. And you got to meet Joaquin.
I didn't come that far.
I know, but
my office is down the street.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I can't believe I met him.
Awesome. The weekend's starting
What
good.
a world. I know. I'm going to get drunk in a movie theater probably
Fuck yeah.
tomorrow.
All right.
Yep.
You should see Jojo Rabbit.
What is that?
It's a new film that just came out.
Oh, I was going to see Parasite.
I've heard that one was good too. I was going to see either or.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll look into it.
All right.
Thanks.
Thank you.
You're welcome.